Hey there guys, and welcome to another episode of What's Happening in China. Let's go for a walk. Right, so today we're in Hong Kong. I'm here with Marty the Dumpling Schmidt. He's my cameraman today. Very grateful for his help. We're actually here on Churchill Business looking at some motorbike parts and stuff. Anyway, let's get down to what's happening in China. So our first segment as always is what's happening on the streets. Well, you know, right now we're on the streets of Hong Kong, which is very different to the streets of the mainland China. But weather-wise, you know, it's nice and warm now. Summer's kicking in. Let's head on over. Everything's, at least as far as weather's concerned, is good. On the streets, what else? All right, another thing that's happening on the streets is the stock market. Okay, don't know if I could really put that into this segment, but it's good enough. It's making huge waves. The stock market has basically exploded since November of last year. And this happens often in China. When somebody earns a little bit of money, you know, word gets out, you can make money through this, and everybody just blindly follows, and everybody's investing. And I mean, everyone, all my clients, my friends, they all want to invest in the stock market. I keep trying to warn them that this is not a good idea, because China had a similar thing in 2008, I think it was, where the stock market basically just fell apart because of the same reason. Everybody was just investing, thinking it's a sure thing, without realizing that there's actually a risk. So right now the stock market is really just crazy. If you happen to be in China, if you are Chinese, or if you know Chinese people, tell them to cool it off and watch out, because I can see this being a bad thing in the near future. Even the Chinese regulatory body has been warning investors to be careful, because there's just too much investment going on in the Chinese stock market. Yep, so that's what's happening on the street. Next show, yeah.
Five.
Oh no, it'll be video. So hey, just bumped into a subscriber. So
what's up, subscriber from Miami, U.S.
It's awesome.
What's going on?
What's your name?
Michael Silverstein.
Michael Silverstein.
Kick ass, man. That's awesome. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good to meet you too, man.
Okay, what's happening in the news? Well, some of you may have heard of this Brother Orange character, and simple story. He basically bought an iPhone, a stolen iPhone that had made its way back to China and had been sold in the electronics market near my house, actually, the Huajiangbei, which is the biggest electronics market in China. And that's actually where all your gadgets probably come from and originate from. If you've got any like Chinese-made gadget, it comes from there. Anyway, he posted pictures of himself with his orange trees, and it went, onto the Apple iCloud or whatever it's called, and the original owner tracked him down, and they met up and became friends and all that nonsense. These fads, things like this, these brother-sister fads, happen very often in China. Since I've been here, there have been an uncountable amount of these little fads, and they pop up when something interesting happens and someone becomes an overnight celebrity. And then they get, they go on TV and they become endorsed, and they do all sorts of nonsense, go on game shows and stuff. Ones that popped to mind, we had Brother Sharp a few years ago, which was he was a beggar who just dressed like stylishly, and people were taking photos. He was a handsome beggar. He was called Brother Sharp, and people tracked him down, and he became a celebrity. There was Feng Jie, which was this crazy woman who was actually rather ugly, but thought that she looked really amazingly beautiful, and even said that she may consider marrying Obama if he proposed to her. So she made it into the sort of overnight celebrities. There was a gay guy with his you didn't even pay me 100 yen guy. There's all these different brothers and sisters that pop up all the time. So it is an overnight fad, and they very soon sort of fade off into obscurity. They last probably about a couple of months to a year. Anyway, speaking of brothers and sisters, it's an interesting thing in Chinese culture is that people will call, very close friends. They call them, in Chinese they'll say Da Ge, or, whatever they'll say, big brother, or they'll say sister, or something like that. So it can be quite confusing. In fact, very often my girlfriend will say to me, I'm going to go visit my sister, and I'll be like, well, you know, there's a one-child policy here. You really have a sister? And, you know, she's actually referring to her cousin. She means she's going to go and visit her cousin or have dinner with her cousin. So, yeah, that could be quite confusing if you're living here. Brothers and sisters are very, well, it's a term that's thrown around a lot. So if you have a good friend, you could say, this is my brother. And I suppose we do that in English as well in some cases. But, you know, it would be the same as me saying that, you know, Marty the Dumpling Schmidt's my brother or C-Milk's my brother, whereas actually they're just really good friends. So, yeah, that's the brother and sister thing. Another thing in the news is the Shanghai Auto Show. I think from last year they banned sexy models. You know, it's kind of a strange thing in China here. You know, China has a very strict laws when it comes to, you know, profanity and obscene things, you know, nudity and all that. But you see it everywhere. It's just one of those things in China where, you know, like you're not allowed to drink in public, but yet, you know, you see people drinking on the side of the road at little barbecue places everywhere. So, you know, nudity keeps popping up everywhere, and, you know, like it is actually quite racy here. You'll be surprised at the kind of things that companies get away with. But, you know, when it gets too big and too well publicized and too in your face, that's when the government steps in to save face, basically, and to say, hang on, that's not good. We have to, you know, give the image that we are at least sticking to our own laws. So they have banned, you know, what do you call those things again? What do you call them? Booth babes, you know, the sexy models that sort of sit next to the car, lounge in the cars. They've banned them from the Shanghai Auto Show. But this is China, and when there's a will, there's a way. They've found other ways to take care of this. So they have now very attractive sales staff, and they have these really a sexy woman come to clean the cars, you know, during the day, and all sorts of nonsense. So it's quite funny, but that's how China works. You know, there's always a way around, you know, any official rule that gets put out there. Speaking of official rules, they're mulling it over. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but they're probably going to ban, what do you call those, like baby formula and, you know, milk powder adverts on TV. And that is because they are getting quite concerned, because China has one of the lowest rates of breastfeeding in the world. Something like only 28% of all children are breastfed up until 6 months. And it's just the way it is, you know. Parents here prefer to just feed their children, you know, sort of milk powder and baby formula. And if you look at the ads on TV, you'll see why, because they're always saying like, oh, you know, my kids has this milk powder and they become instantly smart, and, you know, they're like graduating from kindergarten with, like, you know, the whole university graduation nonsense. So yeah, in order to try and promote, you know, breastfeeding, I think they're going to try and ban all those adverts. But, you know, that's up in the air. We'll see. It's just kind of interesting. All right, so that's pretty much it for in the news. Okay, up and coming. So what can you expect in the near future from my videos? Well, as usual, lots more Chinese espressos. I'm sorry guys, but those of you who don't like the Chinese espressos, stick with it. I gotta keep doing it. Yeah, just ignore them if you don't like them. A lot of Churchill stuff's coming up. Oh yeah, and something very cool is the documentary that China Radio International did about me will be released probably within a week. So as soon as it gets released, they're going to put it up onto, obviously on the TV and stuff, but they'll put it onto their Youku site. I will share the link, and you will be able to access it. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. I'll put up the link. I hope you guys can go check it out, because it'll be awesome. I'd like them to see support from my subscribers, as in I would like to get the view count of my episode, because there's a bunch of other episodes. I want to beat all the rest, so with your guys' help, I think I can do that. Let's go here. Yeah, what else can you look forward to? Like I said, lots of Churchill stuff is coming up, and yeah, I'll get back to you with a little more later. Anyway, signing off for now. We got to go find a bike shop. Right, guys, so I will definitely let you all know when the documentary comes out. I'm so excited. I really hope you guys can check it out and give me, feedback on what you think, because I think it's going to be awesome. So that's coming up. I'm really looking forward to that. The usual stuff's still coming. I'm not only going to be doing Chinese espressos. I will at least try every week to throw in another one of my videos like this, what's happening in China, or China how it is. I've got one coming up about finding a job, and the various other things I do. And don't forget to check out the Churchill channel if you're interested in the motorbike stuff, because every week we have a new episode with me and Marty the Dumpling Schmidt and Seamilk working on bikes and testing bikes and doing mechanic stuff and little adventures here and there. Big adventures I will still put on this channel, but all the little rides and stuff will go up on the Churchill channel. Alright guys, that's it for me, and I'd just like to say to all of you once again, thank you for watching, and of course, stay awesome.